Hi, it's Jane Dagmi, Editor-in-Chief of Designers Today at the Las Vegas News Desk. And I am so excited to be speaking with Susan Wintersteen, Principal and Creative Director at Savvy Interiors out in California, and also the founder of the nonprofit Savvy Giving by Design. So Susan, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
You're welcome. So I have to say, well, I think you and I have actually been trying to kind of get together. We were going to do something right before COVID. That never happened. But when I wrote on the interior design community page on Facebook, who's going to Vegas? Like, I was kind of seeing who was going to be there so I could interview a designer that was going. And you said, I'm going with all 14 of my employees. And I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to get her on the desk. So is everyone chomping at the bit to go out? And
they are. They're so excited. Our team grew a lot this past year. We really scaled up. And, one of the things I want to provide for our team members, even some of our younger designers, is an opportunity to see things they wouldn't ordinarily have an opportunity to go out and see, right? Part of our company culture, all about education, all about exposing them to new design opportunities and what's out there. So I really, really wanted to find a way to get them all out to Vegas, and with safety protocols, everybody's going to have a little hotel room, and they'll have their own space, and we'll wear our masks and socially distance. But I'm super excited to get out there with them.
Yeah. So you were bringing not just designers with you. You have a marketing team, and tell me a little bit about the different people that will be accompanying you.
Yeah. Well, we have one marketing person, so that is our team, but we have a full-time marketing person who I want her to come out and really absorb the industry a little bit more and be able to see what we see. And I think that's super important for the messaging of what it is that we do and what goes into the selections that we make, for her to have that inside knowledge. And then we're also bringing our procurement logistics person, Stephen, who has been dealing this whole past, year and a half with all of our vendors and the delays and product reps and stuff. And so it's really important that he has some face time with some of our representatives out there, because he has been a pillar of patience. And so I'm excited for him to meet these people face to face also.
What was it like, since last March?
In March, it was pretty terrifying. So I would say when we had our shutdown in Southern California, we had shut down what I thought was going to be 2 weeks, and then it extended into 6 weeks. And because our firm is a little different in that our primary focus, we're also general contractors. So we do quite a bit of residential construction, kitchen and bath. And there was some confusion over whether construction was considered essential, and what qualified essential. Was it purely infrastructure, or was it the remodeling portion? And a lot of my contemporaries were still working on projects and tearing out kitchens, and I couldn't really see a way through kind of some of that fog. And we continued to work on our projects that were vacant with one contractor at a time. We consulted with our HR attorney on multiple, pretty much daily, I would say, for a good 3 to 4 weeks, talking about employees and, what our protocol had to be and how we're going to get people into our showroom again working. And everybody went remote. Initially, I pretty much furloughed all but 3 people. We were a team of 8 at the time, so a little bit smaller. And I kept 3 people on, furloughed the rest until we could kind of see what the climate was going to be, how bad this was going to be. I wasn't sure if anybody really wanted us in their houses to do work at that point. It was still so fresh. So that, once we furloughed everyone, and then we kind of got our feet back under us, probably end of April, we looked at bringing everybody back. And then it was just like somebody turned on a water spigot. We were just getting calls left and right. And we want to remodel this space. We need to have this done. We want to look at, remodeling our kitchen. And by summertime, I knew we had to scale. And so we went through that hiring process. I really, early on joined a mastermind with about 6 other women that were in the same position we were firm size wise, from sales and, across the country. And we did a mastermind and really were brainstorming how we were going to pivot. And I think I credit a lot of those women for working together, all of us, on how we were going to do this, how we were going to not only kind of recover from COVID. But as things started to pick up and we all started experiencing this surge, how we were going to pivot and scale appropriately to handle it. And that was a big learning curve. But it really rushed an agenda for me to step into more of a creative director role, and get into that middle management piece in place. That was so important to move forward.
You will be in business for 20 years. Next year? Next year.
Next February. Yeah.
And you are moving into a new space as well, right?
We are. Yeah.
So is that part of your 20th anniversary celebration?
It might be. We are moving into our space, hopefully by end of July. We're kind of doubling our showroom space. Not really retail, not really offices, more of a combination of being able to show our clients our kitchen cabinetry lines, our upholstery, a space that's all very comfortable for us to work in. We want it to walk in and feel like a home, something that's not untouchable, something that's very relatable to every day, but also have all of our samples to curate our designs in one space when we do our creative sprints and lay everything out, and kind of a big workroom.
I want to just talk a little bit about your 501(c), your nonprofit Savvy Giving by Design, which
Yes.
you started, which you kind of, I don't know if you plan to start it in 2014 when you redid somebody in your community, family who had a child with cancer. You redid some of their interiors, or it started as that sort of giving back project. And now you've 15 chapters across the US.
We do. We have 15 designers. So I believe we're the only nonprofit that's designer led in the States. I mean, there's a lot of designer led nonprofits out there, but anything that has multiple chapters that's led by interior designers. So again, selecting designers that have that experience in the field, and wanted to give back in that capacity. And they've been fantastic. I mean, we've been able to basically clone what we've done here in San Diego into all of these different areas to reach more children, which has been great. And then now on April 6th, we're actually launching a kind of a certification training, if you will, a very short 1 to 2 hour meeting with designers that want to do maybe a one-off room, that want to do it under our Savvy Giving by Design umbrella, that sets the standards for why we pick the things that we do, why we're looking at lighting, why we're looking at solid surface floors, how we're designing the room to meet that child where they are in their medical crisis and in their trauma, and how we're moving them forward in their healing process. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of a training for designers that might want to partner up with Make-A-Wish. We're partnered with all of the Make-A-Wish chapters across the country. So we take on their room wishes. So I thought, gosh, if we could get 200 in our Rolodex someday of designers across the country that want to partner up with a Make-A-Wish and provide that service, and they're following our standards, then we will help them do that. So that's what we're working on next, is kind of a pop-up designer program where the designers can do rooms in their communities, partnered up with Make-A-Wish.
Wow. You've said so many inspiring things.
Thank you.
Right here. But we are out of time.
Yes.
So we'll take this conversation somewhere else and explore different avenues. And I want to thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to share some of this, especially the nonprofit stuff is super important.